Welcome back, everybody, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, in collaboration with our boy Wavy Boats, and it's another Wavy Guru Productions back at the ramp, and today we are visiting Black Point. But it is a windy one. If you look in the background, you're going to see the trees blowing, and it is slow because of that. My man is kind of struggling here. He's been trying to get this off for a few minutes now. You can just tell he is pulling and not getting anywhere. He did have the rear straps removed, so I just don't think he's quite deep enough. He thinks he can get it pulled off, and sometimes that can be a tough one, especially when you're launching by yourself, because you don't want to go too deep where the boat floats off on you because you've got nobody else to assist you. You're the only person on the dock. So our guys tried to play that game a little bit, but it looks like it's just not going to happen. I don't think he's going to get this one off without backing this truck just a little further down the ramp. And I think the light bulb's starting to go off, that he realizes this isn't just not going to happen. He's still pulling. But here we go. Yep, he's decided. Now, probably solo, I'd have took those lines and I would have wrapped them around one of the poles and just left some slack, because he really doesn't got to go that far back. I mean, if he gets this thing another 1.5 feet back, probably enough to get it floating. Right there you can tell it came off on its own. That's all he needed, was a few inches. But literally you could have just tied the lines and kind of popped that off and actually drove away with the trailer. But here we go. What a difference a few inches makes. These retrievals are always interesting. This is a big boat. Don't get me wrong, they've got a dually diesel down here, so they probably got enough truck to pull this off, but it's always interesting watching these guys try and get these on the trailer and then trying to get it out of here. So our guys getting in the truck, it looks like we're going to attempt the pull out. And here we go. Oh, they don't like it, something's wrong. It looks like the boat's just not quite far enough up on the trailer. Which is not uncommon. Sometimes when you load a boat, you'll pull a little forward, and you'll find the boat was floating a little more than you thought, and so it kind of pops off the bow eye. And here we can see he's going to go ahead and try and get this thing winched back up. And this is a big boat to try and winch like this. My man's going to have to throw some effort into it. So we're going to back it down just a little bit to give it a little slack where he can kind of get it winched up. I'm not a fan of backing down with people standing on the tongue of the trailer, because from the truck, you're just not going to notice if somebody falls in. Oh, and he goes down. And this is what I'm talking about. He goes down. The people on the dock think it's hilarious. The girls are laughing at him. But we're going to go ahead and try and get another pullout done here. And my man's giving her hell. And he's taking off. And it's really been kind of a slow day over at Black Point, so let's take a trip over to Boynton and see what's happening over here today. And here we can tell we've got a boat approaching the dock, one motor down, and as we've mentioned many times on this channel, this is a difficult one because with twin motors, the motors are a little offset, which makes it a little more difficult to control the boat on approach. But these guys look alright. But this boat ramp at Boynton is notorious for not letting boats like this get out. Basically, it's a whole lot more difficult to get this boat fully on the trailer than it would be if this boat had both motors. So let's see if they can get this up and get this weighted right, or if this truck's going to have a tough time getting this thing out of here. The good news for this crew for sure is they appear to have plenty of truck. That should not be the issue at all as to whether or not this vehicle can pull this boat. So these guys are still trying to get it lined up, it appears. And they're still powering on with one motor, but once again, they just don't have the power they would normally have if they had both these motors on the boat. But I'm assuming the guy who's in the truck should have this about winched up now, and we should be ready for at least a first attempt on a pull out here. Alright, so it appears he's getting in the truck, and we should be about ready to go. And we trim the motors out. And here we go. And as expected, we start spinning tires. Once again, it's always a tough one when you're down a motor and you just can't get this thing loaded up the way you want to get it loaded up always. So he's going to back up and try and take another attempt at this one. And he is giving her some hell, but it is not wanting to go. He's going to have to probably, I'm guessing, back this one up and either get a little bit of a running start or find a way to get a little more weight on the rear bumper. Oh, he's got the cheat mode. He's locking the front hubs, and it appears we're going into four-wheel drive, so he probably is not going to have much of an issue after that. And four-wheel drive to the rescue, and it just pulls you out. You know, a lot of people ask these kind of questions when you're down in Florida, like, why would you need four-wheel drive in a truck? And now you know. We'll bounce back over to Black Point. It's picked up a little bit here at the end of the day, but as you can tell, we've got our resident crocodile floating here at Black Point, and this little boat's backing up. And he's getting the dog. He's like, hush, bro, you're going to be a snack. And he wisely I mean, the Croc's bigger than this boat. If the Croc wanted to, it could absolutely just knock this thing over. And so he's trying to keep his dog under control instead of provoking it at all. But wisely, he's going to choose a different dock. So they're going to roll back over here to the first dock. Basically just ask, hey bro, are you pulling out, coming in? And these guys are actually, they just dropped, so he's going to cut in front of them, which is probably a wise move instead of trying to fight with the Croc over there, especially with the dog barking at it. But just one of the cautions you have to have when launching a small boat over at Black Point, just realize there's aquatic life in the water that is going to be a little bigger than your boat if you've got a small vessel. My favorite one's to watch these guys with the canoes and the kayaks and everything like that come rolling through here. That one always gives me a good chuckle, but these guys look like they'll put it up on the dock. And it looks like they're good, and he's going to go ahead and get this put up, and they'll be able to get out of here. And speaking of getting out of here, we're going to get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at Haulover Inlet. My channel, Broncos Guru, we do some great comedy boating videos over there as well. And of course, we've got Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet in Miami, Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.